Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back with an unusual video today. This video is about how I lost over $30,000 trading options on Robinhood, and as you can see here, it was a loss of right around $30,000. I'll go over exactly what happens, kind of the steps that led me to this, and kind of the rationality behind it, the huge risk that I was taking, and what it really comes down to is, when you start to break all the rules of trading, you're really gambling in the markets, and that's kind of what happened, right? And this doesn't matter if you're an experienced trader or a complete newbie. It can happen to anyone, and I already know what the comments are going to say. Oh, you're not the right trader, you're the wrong trader, stuff like that. But what it comes down to is, like I said, anybody can make these mistakes, right? Even traders who have years of experience like myself. If you let yourself get caught up in your own emotions, this is what's going to happen. You're probably going to blow up an account, right? And you may have already blown up an account or not, but from what I know, most traders have already blown up accounts. I'll go ahead and refresh the page here just so you know that this isn't fake. Trust me, I wish it was fake, but unfortunately it's not. And as you can see here, $30,000 loss. Like I said, I'm also going to go over to the deposit section just so you can see that I didn't indeed put in $30,000 and lost that. So right around August 1st, as you'll see on the chart here, I made my, July 1st, looks like I made my initial deposit, and I added a little bit of money. At first, I started only trading with around, can't remember the exact amount, $4,000 or $5,000, and then I added, basically $25,000. It looks like my last withdrawal, right, was literally of $1.19. So I'll let you tally it all up and do the math, but that is a $30,000 loss indeed. But going back to the chart here, I really wanted to get into what not to do basically, right? And keep in mind, this is not financial advice. Trade and invest at your own risk because it can definitely be risky, as you can see. Now, I'm fortunate enough that I'm in a financial position where this is a bad month for me, or, was a bad few weeks, but it didn't really have that big of an impact on me, whereas, a loss like this or even a smaller loss could be life-ruining for some people, and that's really what I'm trying to avoid here, is really sharing my mistakes so that you don't have to go through this and avoid making the same mistakes that I did here, right? That's why I really want to get into the details of what exactly happened, what was my mindset throughout all this, and why this happens, right? So started off with, like I said, I believe it was 5,000 on the graph on Robinhood. It automatically sets it to 30,000. Started trading, right? And at first I was very flat, going up and down a bit, but I was moving around a $1,000 gain and was basically stable, which is the key thing there, right? Now what happened is I got my first big win, which I believe this is right around when I started to put some more money in, or it may have actually even been with the $5,000. I may have made a 100% return. I can't remember the exact trade because this was all done through a lot of trades, right? At first I was basically keeping the options for a day, selling them, and then as I got further into it with the $30,000, when I started trading with a full amount, I was basically day trading, holding for maybe sometimes seconds, right, or minute trades. So that's even worse because that's really when you can, completely get caught up in your emotions and start doing irrational trade after irrational trade. So made that first win, which was kind of the beginning of the downfall, as you can literally see, because that made me think that I knew what I was doing. And like I said, I'm an experienced trader. I've traded successfully in stocks and crypto, but with options, it's really easy to get carried away because of those huge returns and obviously the huge losses. It's much more emotional and it's much more, exciting in a way. But that excitement can come with, getting caught up in it. And after making that initial gain, right, 24% in the first month, $7,000, I got carried away and thought that my strategy was fully profitable, when in fact, without even realizing it, I was taking on way too much risks with the options trade that I was taking, right? A lot of out of money options trades. I then proceeded to go right back down to $30,000 within, a week, it looks like. And this is really the beginning of the end. So it looks like I was at around $32,000. I made a bad trade that dropped me all the way down to $25,000, right? And that's when the panic set in. And instantly, this is really what you want to try to avoid here. But I wanted to get back that loss as fast as possible. So that's what led me to take on even more risk to try and recover that. That then made me take on, another big chunk of a loss, which was put me down to $18,000, right? So that's around a $12,000 loss right there. Then I made my way all the way down to $10,000. Once again, within just a couple days, a day or two. At that point, I did find a little bit of stability where I was bouncing around, $6,500 to $10,000, right? So as you can see here, I was making some nice percentage increases, but I was still at a huge loss, right? I went from around 6,000 to 10,000 twice, but then once again, because I was taking so much risks, and although I can make a 100% return, if you can't do that consistently and profitably, you're going to end up blowing up the account. And that's what happened. So I took yet again another big loss. That put me all the way down to 3,000. It trickled down from there. I reached on September 30th all the way down to $1,541, 95% loss there. And I actually managed somehow, obviously, I do think I have a certain amount of knowledge with these options because it's not easy to make the type of returns that I was getting here. But once again, it doesn't matter the returns that you get if you're not going to be able to do that profitably, right? And if you're taking on too much risks, you're going to end up taking that one loss that just completely wipes you out, right? That's the whole point of it. And that's why I wanted to make a whole video series after this on risk management and the things that you can do to avoid getting caught up in your emotions and taking sizable positions that are actually thought out and will avoid you taking those huge losses. So from 1,541, within a few days, I made my way all the way back up to $10,000. So that's a 1,000% increase almost. Obviously, when you're getting these type of big increases, you really think that you're on top of the world and that you'll get back to 30,000. When I was at 10,000, I remember I fully thought that I was going to be able to, just get one or two more 100% returns and make my way back up to 30,000 and up from there. So again, taking on those huge risks without, a proven strategy is going to lead to a big loss. And especially with options, right? That's the danger with options specifically as well. With regular stock or even crypto, you're usually not going to end up with necessarily as quickly, at least, this big of a loss. But with options, due to their leveraged nature, right, and anything that's leveraged, that's when you're really going to see these just disastrous losses. So, made my way back up to that almost $10,000 mark, and then once again, pretty much within 2 days, 2-3 days, all the way back down to 1,200. Now, if I zoom in on the chart here, I'll go to the 3-month graph, which basically shows you the loss here. And there was a lot of trades made. You can see how much it was going up and down, but I'll just scroll through this just in case you want to count some percentage returns or percentage losses for yourself. As you can see, you really get to a point where when you're at a 95% loss, it's kind of the point of no return, right? To get back above that would be to make a huge percentage increase, and especially with that small amount of capital, you'd really have to take some really big risks to get there as well, which furthers that problem of kind of gambling in the markets. After that, basically trickled down. You can see the 1 month graph. At this point, I was trying for a miracle with the last couple amount left, but as you can see, 1,000 became 500, which then became around $200, stayed a bit stable there, and then with $100, you're not really going to get anywhere, especially if you're trying to take, out of the money options to recover those losses, and then lost everything, right? Please trade and invest at your own risk. None of this is financial advice. But with that being said, if you appreciate the honesty and someone showing you something that's real instead of everybody else showing you these huge, ridiculous percentage increases and wins without any of the losses, it's not the reality of trading. So hopefully you can appreciate the real full picture of a trader. And if you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I've got a lot of great videos for you coming soon, including a whole series on risk management. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.